Hello everyone, my name is Chanel Marjosian. Welcome to the first ever video on the Chanel channel. I'm so excited to be filming this for you guys. This is my everyday look. So I filmed my first video as in what I do kind of for my skincare and just how I got this look in like overall. This like natural glowy bronzy look for my everyday on the go to work, go to school, go wherever you want. So yeah, if you want to see how I got this look, then please keep on watching. I have my goodie bag right here of all my stuff. Okay, so first thing I do is I moisturize my skin. I have really dry skin, so I use this moisturizer right now. I mean, I'm not that obsessed with it. I don't know if you can see, it's the CLARAINS moisturizer. I like it, it's not my favorite, but I mean, I'm at the bottom of it, so I guess it's decent. But I already washed my face and stuff, so my skin is clean. Always make sure your skin is clean because you don't want to put makeup on top of like dirt or anything that like is on your skin. I can barely get any out, but oh, there's some in the cat, perfect. There you go. My favorite moisturizer so far that I've used is the Tatcha water cream gel, I think it's called. I really do like that one, but I don't know, I've just been using this one. Hair back, so sorry if I look weird, but I can't work with my hair in my way. Okay, I let my moisturizer sit on my face for about like 2 to 3 minutes, I would say, and then I move on to, this is like my favorite step. I cannot live without it. If I don't use this in my makeup routine, I don't like my makeup. It's weird. I don't know if it's just in my head or not, but I don't know, I need to use it. It's the Bobbi Brown face base. It's the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Shea Butter, Vitamin C and E, and I don't know, it just makes your skin like velvet. If you put it, I use it like a primer. I use 2 different primers, I'll show you, but just kidding. You know what I do next? I do the KIEHLS. I use the KIEHLS Creamy Eye Treatment with avocado. I put that first, and then I use the Bobbi Brown, but I mean, you can do it opposite, it doesn't really matter. My fingers and put it under my eye. I feel like a hydrating eye cream. I don't know about oily skin, but I do know my dry skin. If I don't put an eye cream like as my base, my concealer like cracks throughout the day, or like I don't know, it just automatically applies, like it creases, and then I get like, when I put powder, it doesn't look as good. So I just like to put this under and then go in with concealer like after a few minutes. I put it on my like lids too, just because I just take it all around. Just be very gentle around your eye area. You don't want to like tug or anything. I usually pat in and then I rub, but gently. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the Bobbi Brown. I usually just take my beauty blender. I'll clean it before, obviously, and I'll just like dab it in here. And obviously my moisturizer's been on my face for about like 5 minutes now. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. I apply it all over. Sometimes I'll even go under my eyes as well because this is very hydrating. And I just kind of like dab it everywhere and then I like pull it. Let me get my mirror so I can see what I'm doing. Use the Tarte Clean Slate, what is it called? Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. This one. It works amazing. So again, I just take it on the back of my nail. I like scoop some out. I don't know, like that much, or maybe a little more. Like that much. I'll just take it on the back of my finger, take some of it, not all, and put it right here. And this, I'll take it down my cheeks a little bit, and mostly like by my nose and over here. I just like to push it in the skin so it like fills the pores. You're not like dragging it everywhere. So all my skincare is done. I did my moisturizer, the Bobbi Brown face base, then my Tarte pore filling primer, and now I'm gonna jump into foundation. This is my favorite foundation, the MERCIER Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation. I love this foundation. It's amazing. It's full coverage, but it's so lightweight. Like it literally feels like you have nothing on your face. I'm using the shade Buff. I'm gonna take a beauty blender. I love the Morphe sponge. I do use a beauty blender as well, But I don't know, I like the Morphe sponge as well, and it's like half the price. Not even half, it's less than half. It's $7.99, I think. It's amazing, and it works almost the same. And I go through my sponges like a lot. Like I like to throw them out every like so often because they get like so, I don't know, I feel like they get like bacteria on them and all that stuff, and that's what makes you break out. So I try to change it often, and who wants to keep throwing away a new beauty blender when you can just get this one? It's amazing. I like to use a beauty blender for my foundation. Like that's my favorite thing to do, is put my foundation on with a beauty blender. It's the most flawless application you can add. It never gets cakey in my opinion with a beauty blender. But if I'm in a really big rush, like I need to use a brush because I just need to slap the foundation on, and it still gives a flawless application, but it's not as like pretty in it doesn't look as airbrushed in my opinion. But let me find my two brushes that I like to use so I can give you guys other options. I usually use the Morphe M439 to apply it if I don't use my Morphe Beauty Sponge, because it just like, it's big, it applies it perfectly, it doesn't leave streaks. Or I like to use the Y6 from Morphe. I don't know where it is right now, it probably fell out of in my makeup drawers, but this is my go-to one. I just love it. But if I do have like that extra, like, because it takes longer when you're bouncing it into the beauty blender, so if you find yourself taking so long on your like morning routine or your everyday makeup, I swear this will cut if you use a brush, it'll cut 5 minutes out. My beauty blender, I like the flat side to like bounce it in my skin, so I just like take some on and then I just start applying it. I also do take some on my eyelid, just kind of as a primer. I do use my concealer as an eye primer as well. But I don't normally do eyeshadow every single day, just because I kind of have like really sensitive eyes, so I have like eye issues. One day I'll tell you guys, but I don't normally put eye makeup on every single day. I do wear mascara, but I don't necessarily always wear eyeliner in and out because I just don't even want to deal with my eyes getting irritated every single day. It's just like not necessary. I'm gonna go in with concealer next. Personally, I'm not that picky with concealers, only because I'm thankful for it, but I don't really have dark under eye circles or like any discoloration under my eyes. I kind of use it literally just to brighten, so I'm not that picky. So if it's hydrating and it brightens, I'm good with it. It doesn't have to be the most full coverage, but I know people like a full coverage concealer because they have dark under eye circles and all that. But yeah, I put a generous amount, kind of just like, I like to like put a lot of concealer. I like to really brighten. I feel like this is the step that makes you look awake, and since I can't wear like eye makeup always, like to like a winged liner and stuff like that to make myself look awake, I feel like my concealer is what makes me look refreshed and healthy and brightened. Everyone was complaining how like small it was. I mean, it is a pretty small jar, but I've been using it for a while and I use like a generous amount and it hasn't ran out, so I'm not that mad about it. And it wasn't that expensive. It was only $18, so the Tarte Shape Tape's about, I think, $27 to $30, so I mean, it obviously has more product, but I don't know, I like this concealer better. I still want to try the KYLIE ones because everyone says the KYLIE ones are hydrating too, so if any of you have tried it, comment down below and let me know how you liked it. If you've tried both, like the Kim and the KYLIE, let me know, so which one you like better. I need to try the KYLIE one. So I take the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I'm obsessed with it. Sometimes I'll take the Pixie. These are my two favorite glow mists. You have to shake them up because the oil like settles at the bottom and you just have to shake them. These are both one of my favorites. I do prefer the Tatcha, but I run out of it like it's water. So sometimes I'll just use this one, it depends. This one's from Target and this one's from Sephora. And there's a huge price difference. I believe this one's $49 and I think this one's like $15 to $20 in that price range. I think it's like $16.99 or something like that. Spray it on the flat side. I'll spray about like 2 sprays on there and then I'll go in and blend out my concealer. This is the KKW contour stick. I don't have like the double-ended one. I like just I don't like her highlight like creams. I like just the darker ones. This is in the shade medium. So I like to take it, kind of just put, I don't really need too much contour on my forehead. So how I contour, everyone says like follow the line, like your ear, and then like draw the line down. I draw it like right above it, just a tad, because either way when you're blending, it's gonna blend down a little bit. So I like to already start it high, so if you do blend down, it's exactly where it's supposed to be at. like a lot for every single day, but I swear when I'm doing it, I don't know if it's just like, I know a lot of people don't do like full glam every day. I don't necessarily either, but for face, I love to. Like, since I can't wear a lot of eye makeup, I like to focus on my skincare and like my face routine, because I mean, a lot of people might spend a lot of time doing their eye makeup every day, but since I can't always do that, I like to focus on my skincare and what my skin looks like, so I look awake, like refreshed, and just healthy and all that stuff. So I like to focus on all that. I mean, sometimes I am very lazy and I won't like do the cream contour stuff and I'll be like too tired, so I'll kind of just put some bronzer on, but like typically this is actually what I do every single day. You don't have to do like every single step I did, but I mean, you can maybe gain some tips and tricks from it, so, or ideas of like what you want to start to try and products and all that stuff. So I swear once you get the hang of it, it really doesn't take that long. So for this part now, I'm gonna set my face. I'm gonna make sure no creases. Like, go back in with your beauty blender, dab everything in. So for to set my under eye initially, I first go in with a pressed powder, like a banana shade usually. Sometimes I'll touch in that shade because it does brighten a lot. I like a really bright under eye. I love that look. So I'll take my beauty blender and I'll just like rub it in there. I don't like to I do use a loose powder, but I don't like to go in first with a setting powder, like a loose translucent powder, because if you go in first with the loose powder and you put it right on under your eye and it's still like wet, I feel like it grabs at like the wet spots, or like the moist, whatever you want to call it, spots, and it kind of just like sticks there, and then when you wipe it away, it doesn't look as flawless. So if you go, and it won't crease as much if you do this step first. So I'll take a little bit, not too much, because you don't want to over powder, especially if you have dry skin, you don't want to over powder. So I'll take this, kind of rub it in. I'm going to grab a little bit of this because I'm almost out of that. So just about like that much. And then I take it, where's my mirror? I take it and go like under my eye, just dabbing it. And then I'll do the same exact thing to the other side, and then dab it. Everywhere you put your concealer, pretty much, do this step. And be careful with your forehead, because you don't want to put too much makeup on your forehead, because I feel like your forehead is what gives it away the most if you're like cakey. Just because you're using a lot of layers of makeup, by the way, doesn't mean necessarily cakey. Your makeup won't look cakey if you're literally doing it the right way. Especially with the beauty blender, like I was saying, I feel like it pushes it into the skin so it looks so natural and skin-like. And also setting powder. Setting powders will be your best friend, because it like melts everything into the skin and makes it skin-like. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with the MAC Mineralizing Skin Finish, just to set the rest of my face where I put all the dark, and I'll still set it everywhere else. Sometimes I do like to go in with a foundation powder, which is the MAC C6 Studio Fix. Well, C6 is the color, the shade, but this is the Studio Fix by MAC. I like to use the shade C6. It looks like this. As you can see, it's loved. I do use this a lot, but for today, I don't, I don't know. Depends my mood. Really, it really just depends my mood. You can't go wrong with either. If you want full coverage on top of the full coverage foundation, use the Studio Fix. If you want just a light like setting powder with some color in it, I'll go in with the Mineralizing Skin Finish. I'm gonna go in with the Mineralizing Skin Finish. This one's not the full coverage one. I'll go in with like a fluffier brush. I'll show you. So I usually like to go in with the Morphe E3. It's just like a fluffier brush. Kind of like, it's like flexible, so I literally just dip it in, and like I said, don't rub, dab, because your skin is still like wet from the foundation, the concealer, the contour, like the creams. So just make sure you just like, you don't need that much. Tap off the excess and just dab it. I like to start it on my cheekbone because that's where I want the most color and the most pigment, and then I'll lightly take it and dust it on the rest of my face. Next, I like to move on to, oh, it's right in front of me. I like to use the Park Ave Princess by Tarte. It's a palette, it's a bronzing, like, they call it like a highlight contour palette, I guess, but I feel like it's more of like bronzers. I do like to dip in all these powders. I'm so weird, I like to mix them all. So I just dip in like one dip in each one. So I like to use that as bronzer right now, or I'll use the NARS Laguna, oh no, I'm sorry, Casino bronzer, not the Laguna, because it's a little darker than Laguna. It's almost done as well. Bronzer right now, I'm still on the hunt for my favorite bronzer. I'm not going to tell you these are my like ride or dies. Right now, this one I've been just using a lot. I don't know, I just got used to it. But I still feel like it's kind of too like cool toned on me. It turns a little like, I want it to be like more warm and like bronzy. I kind of want to try the, what is it called? Dior or the, no, not Dior. I forgot which one I want to try. But comment down below what your favorite bronzer is, because I'm still on the hunt for my favorite bronzer. I like to use a small brush because I don't like to use something like this, because I want to be precise. I want to put it exactly where I want it to go. So if I use this brush, it's going to go everywhere and you're not going to have like a clean cut contour. If you use a smaller blending brush, or bronzer brush, not blending brush, smaller bronzer brush, you'll like your contour more and it'll come out more clean. Okay, this is the Morphe Y9 brush. The Morphe Y9 brush. I like to use this one for my bronzer. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe one more time, and the darker one. Tap off the excess and just take your brush and dab it in. Dab it where you put that contour. I feel like this palette has like cool tones and warm tones, but I like mix them all. I don't know if it's because I mix them all, but I don't know, I can't choose which one I like. I do like the last two shades the most, because this one's like a matte and this one's like shimmery, and I like to have like a glowy effect. That's why I like to use a matte foundation and make me look more dewy with other products rather than a dewy foundation, because matte foundations last long and dewy foundations personally to me don't always, or just personally from what I've used, they don't last as long. They break up. You look oily during the day even if you're not. So yeah, do the same thing on the other side. You can bronze as much as you want. Okay, now I'm gonna go back into my Kat Von D palette. Okay, this is not a Morphe brush, but this brush, I cannot do my contour without. I literally can't. It's like so weird. I won't like my makeup unless I use this palette and this brush. I just don't know why, but it's a must. But I like to use the NARS Ita brush. It is thin, but it's amazing because it's flexible, if you can see. So it gives you like the most perfect contour. You can literally put it exactly where you want, exactly on your cheek, and it's gonna go right there. It does give like a harsh contour, so you have to like be careful of how much product you dip in. But if you put the perfect amount of product and use this brush, oh, it's just amazing. I love it. So I like to go like this, just dip in all of them. I'm just like that. I like to mix everything. I don't like just like one color. So you like dip here once, and dip here twice. Tap it off. The Kat Von D powders are so pigmented, so you have to be really careful because you can look muddy easily, and you don't want a muddy contour. So just go in light-handed. Sometimes I do go heavy-handed on accident, but you can just like fix that with like some translucent powder and stuff like that. But so I go exactly right above my ear, like I said, exactly where I put the Kim contour, the cream. I'll put the powder right exactly where I want that, where I put that. I just go light-handed, back and forth, back and forth. You can already see the line. And then I'll take it on my forehead, whatever's left on the brush, and then I'll take it down here, down my jaw. I like to dip back in the middle shade, not the dark shade, for my nose contour, because I don't like my nose contour to look too harsh. And then go down exactly where I put those lines. Take like an angled blush brush. Okay, so now this is when I go in with my translucent loose powder. This is the Patrick powder by MAC Cosmetics. I really do, like, I'm obsessed with this powder. If I don't use this powder, I do recommend for dry skin. I mean oily skin as well, but I like the RCMA powder. It's called the RCMA No Color Powder. It's legit white powder, but it's so amazing and hydrating. But I'm going with the MAC one by Patrick Star. Morphe M438 brush. It's like a pointed brush, so it like fits perfectly wherever you need and like wherever you want to cut. And I'll cut exactly where like I want to clean it up. This step really changes like the makeup game. Like I feel like setting powder like makes your whole makeup. When you like bake, first of all, it lasts longer. It like cleans up your contour even if you went too low with it. It just does everything, and then it makes like your skin look so silky and so smooth if you use like a good powder. I like to set in my smile lines too. I usually go like this. I know I'm gonna look crazy for a second, but I go like this. And bake there, because I hate when my foundation breaks up in my smile lines. It drives me crazy, and I let it sit there for about like 2 to 5 minutes just so like it can really bake and my makeup will last all day long. I do like to bake down the sides of my nose. This will also make your nose look thinner and like take it in more. While I let this bake and sit on my face, I like to go in with a highlighter, a MAC one first, and then I'm gonna top it off with this. I usually like to use the Morphe M501 brush. Now, I'm gonna take that mineralizing powder that I set my face with, the one that doesn't have full, it's not full coverage. I'm gonna take it to wipe away my powder. I like to dip back into my powder so it doesn't leave like a residue of like a lighter color. I know it says translucent, but sometimes it does make it a little too bright under there, and I like bronzy, so I'm gonna wipe it away, just dip it like twice in there, tap it off, and just lightly dust it away. Sometimes I'll push it into the skin too. Okay, so now I'm going to fill in my brows with the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Now before mascara, this is a good trick or tip I should say. I like to set my face with a setting spray before I go in with mascara. Alright guys, this is the end of the video. I'm so glad I filmed this for you guys, and I'm so excited I finally filmed my first video for my channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. You'll be seeing a lot more beauty tutorials and fun tutorials, makeup tutorials, a bunch of things. So if you want to stay updated and stay tuned, then please subscribe to my channel. So I do have a question of the day for you guys. What is your must-do step every single day? Like a step that you cannot miss, you cannot like ever skip? Comment down below and let me know. Bye guys. Mwah. I'm gonna have a question of the day for you guys. I wanted to ask you, what is your, oh fuck that up. I fucked it up maybe 15 times. Take 100 again.